Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So, doing some work on the Ford Focus estate again. We have some vibration issues. I think I know what it is, and I just thought I'd show you guys what I think it is, and I'll let you guys know at the end of the video if it did fix it. Stay tuned. So, firstly, this is not how to install a CV axle. It's not how to do your brakes or to do wheel bearings or anything like that. This is just basically an issue I've got with a car. I think I found what it is, and I'll let you guys know at the end if it did fix it. It's probably going to be a common issue. I have did a bit of research into this, and a lot of people are complaining about it, so hopefully this might help someone out. So firstly, the car is a 2015 Ford Focus Estate. It's been in the channel before. I don't have it in the garage at the minute. I do have the Mustang still. So this is the driver's side, the front right. The gearbox is here. This is how it connects into the gearbox. This then goes along and is bolted in place. I have the bracket somewhere. So this is, well, this was bolted in place to the car here, so that is connected to the gearbox. This is bolted here. This is a bearing, and then you have your inner joint and your outer joint. The outer joint goes to the wheel. So normally in a CV axle, if your outer is failing, it will click, and essentially when you turn the wheel and drive, this will also turn, and when that rotates, it makes a clicking sound. The inner doesn't click. The inner gives you vibrations. Say late 50s and 70, it's unreal. The whole car just shudders. I've never felt nothing like it. So I'm back. I've just got a parcel delivered from Amazon. What was I saying? Yeah, like a flutter, like a wave that goes through the car. And generally, if it's your steering wheel, it's the front. If you feel vibrations in the seat, in the footwells, it normally is the rear. You see the axle, they all should have play going in and out. This is brand new, and this has play going in and out. That's normal, because it has to compensate for going over bumps and what have you. But you should not have play up and down. So I don't know if you were to pick this up on camera, you shouldn't hear anything, but basically, like, that will not move up and down. This one, hopefully the audio will pick that up. So it goes in and out like so, but it does have a click. But up and down, make sure you have hold of the cup as well, because the cup will move. So pin the cup down and pull up and down the shaft. That should not be doing that. On the outer, there's a tiny amount of play. That is acceptable. In fact, I'm not even, well, that one's got none, but that's got a tiny bit of play, and that would not concern me. But this, that's not good. I'm hoping that the issue is when this shaft is spinning, it's obviously, it's loose, it's got some play, so it's actually spinning like such. And I'm hoping that's what's causing vibration. I'm not going to show the installation of this drive shaft. There's probably loads of videos on YouTube about it. This car is in the garage. It's all jacked up. It's a right pain getting this car down, out, get the other car in, do the work, and then get that out, this back in. So I'm just going to go ahead and fit this. When I removed the axle, the wheel bearing is okay. It doesn't make a noise. It's actually quite quiet, but when you rotate it, this is your bearing, this is the magnetic side, so you need to make sure that goes on the inside, because you have an ABS sensor, which I've not pulled out yet, but you've got an ABS sensor that goes on the rear. The bearing, this one obviously is brand new. You can't hear now, it's silent. That one's nice and quiet. The one I've got in, it's kind of sticky, so it'll turn, click, turn, click, turn, click, and you can feel the vibrations in your fingers. That shouldn't be like that. That should spin nice and smooth and freely. So these are £29, and why you were at this point, it's literally just a case of using a bearing puller, which is down there somewhere, and then a wheel bearing press. Takes 10 minutes normally, if there's no issues. But yeah, so that will be the next step. So I'm going to replace the bearing, install the drive shaft, get the car back together, and once it's back together I can let you guys know if this has fixed the issue. These have a good name. So the company is J&R CV Joints, and they have a good reputation. They've sold over 900,000 items apparently. I did drain the oil. It's pretty nasty. It's probably never been changed. So I've got some fresh oil. I think this takes like 1.7 litres, something like that. So yeah, we'll get the axle back in and fill the oil up and we should be good to go. I have bought this. So this is a dial indicator, and this can be used for check for run out. So quite essentially it's got a magnetic base. You hook that onto your shock or somewhere, and then you bring the arm down, you put the dial indicator on the actual disc, zero it, spin the disc, and you should be within a certain tolerance. I could look that up online, but you can clearly see if the needle is jumping all over the place and you have an issue. The rotors are in excellent condition. I don't see any discoloration, any marks. These look perfect to me. The pads have worn very well, nice and even, and there's no shiny spots. They look fine. Also brakes, normally if the brakes are off, if like there's a warp or an issue with the disc, when you brake, the shudder should be more, but it's not. The shudder stays the same when you're braking. When they say it's inner, they normally state that it's only during acceleration. When you're going from 40 to 70, it does shudder. Of course it does. When you take your foot off at 70, it gets a little better, but the shuddering is still there. It doesn't really stop. So that kind of basically means it's probably not this, but you have a bearing here. So I'm wondering, is this bearing shock? Because let's remember, when you're doing 70 mile an hour, you might not be accelerating, but you know everything's still moving, the axle's still spinning. So if this has an issue, you're still getting a vibration. So I couldn't find a clear yes or no if that is the case. Like I say, a lot of people say when you take your foot off the accelerator, the vibration stops. That doesn't happen in my case, but this has excess play. It's obviously old. It's did 95,000 mile, so I'm going to swap it out and we'll get it in. I'll come back to you guys, let you guys know if that fixes the issue. If it does, then hopefully this might help some of you guys out. I probably should replace the other drive shaft if that is the case, because the other drive shaft does have a little bit of play, kind of the similar amount of this. So you know, it's £45 for a new drive shaft. So if I do decide to do that, I probably will do a video on that. It's been a couple of days. The drive shaft is installed along with the bearing and everything else. The vibrations on the steering wheel and overall on the car is a lot better. I'll talk about that later on. But basically, I just want to show you guys the drive shaft. So this was attached like so. This was clunking, and these do cause vibration when this bit fails. This is what's inside. So basically remove the clips. There's one at the inner and outer side of the boot. Remove that and we have this. That is not right. You should not have this. So essentially what this is water. So although the boot looked perfectly fine, and I've seen this before, clearly there is a leak somewhere. Now there's no grease on the boot, so I'm assuming water has somehow managed to get in through the actual shaft itself under the boot and contaminate the oil. Now if you guys have not seen inside these before, it should be something like that. Might be darker. It should not be like that. That is essentially water contamination. So the water's got in, and obviously there's been no protection and everything's just been rattling around. So I'm just going to clean this up and I'll bring you guys back. But I'm expecting to, in fact I think I can already see damage on the inside. I'm expecting to see some, not chunks, but some wear marks, some kind of pieces missing, worn down on the inside. And these, yeah, so they're way too loose. They should not be that loose. So let's have a quick look at these. The boot is quite rigid. I wonder if this is actually a genuine Ford boot. Not too sure about these gaps here. Could be genuine. It just feels cheap. This is quite soft and pliable. This is quite hard. So I'm wondering, is this an aftermarket boot? But these should slide off, but they shouldn't be that bad. So this one, you can hear it or see it, but you can feel it's quite gritty. So, and also there's way too much movement. I mean, they're just literally falling off. So they've obviously worn down. The needle bearings, which are in between these two rings, see, that one's actually quite tight. So the needle bearings, they're actually all still intact. I expected one to be broken. There should be a date if it's genuine. The aftermarket ones have a date. Yeah, there we go. 6 of the 12th, 14. The car's a 2015, so it probably is the genuine bearing. So the bearing itself, these are very, very tough. So these should be fine. There's somewhere there's a bit of uneven colour on the outside edge, and obviously I've not got one to compare with, but doesn't seem too bad actually. That one's quite smooth. There, your needle bearings. You see them sticking through? And what happens is sometimes they just literally explode out. Like, for example, that could become that loose that this happens. And essentially they all just fall out like little bullets. And then you have this over that, and you have all this extra slop. It's hard, it's really greasy. I'm trying to see how loose that is, which means the axle shaft will be completely shot, it'll be all over the place. So have a quick look at these. These are kind of what I expected. Nothing standing out as a major failure, but I expect these to show some sign. See this, it's awful when it's mixed with water. It's kind of like gravy. It's a clip there. So you can remove this ring at the back, pop that off, knock this off, this will slide off. You can put a new one of these, a couple of new bearings, obviously replace the other side as well. But the price of drive shafts these days, it's not really worth it, I don't think. It's quite shiny in the centre. I would expect it to be kind of more like that actually, with a little bit of shine. This one has quite a lot. It's rounded more on the corners. But where I'm expecting the wear, and this wasn't really a video about this was about vibration, but I guess this is the main cause. If we just get this out, once again, it should not come out like that. Right, that was pretty gross. Ignore the sand, that's just because I've been reusing some dirty rags out of the bin. So, can you see? Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not too deep, but you can see around the edge. So this is where the bearings will sit. and you can see how it's been rubbing on the top and bottom, and it's all the way around. It's pretty bad in that one. Yeah, there's a flat spot, so that's quite high. It goes flat and high again at the bottom. It's essentially been a contamination of water failure, which has turned the grease to this muck. It's kind of like running your engine on the wrong oil. It's designed to have a certain kind of grease in there to protect all the parts. So I mentioned the vibration in the steering wheel is gone and the car is a little bit better. Now, we've had two issues, and that's why it's been confusing. The whole car should run front to back. That normally means the rear. The rear, if there's issues in the rear, they follow forward to the front of the car. Even though it feels like it's the front, it's the back. If it's the front, it'll be when you're braking or you're accelerating or you are holding the wheel and that's vibrating. Stuff like that is the front. Had no issues when braking, but during acceleration and high speed and just general driving over a certain speed, we were getting vibrations. So this was the cause. The inner shaft was faulty. That stopped the steering wheel and a little bit at the front. The pedals and things felt a bit better, but there was still a vibration, a very uniform vibration across the whole chassis of the car. So it had to be the back. Took it to the garage, 2 new tyres, rebalanced, gone. And I've seen this before, this built up corrosion that normally lifts up the boot and that allows water in. So that's normally when I've seen this, but this is actually pretty clean on this end. So that's why I was quite surprised. But I've seen these in the past where the rust lifts them up, puts pressure on the strap. This will then snap, pop off, and the boot works its way back. I've actually had, on one occasion, the grease just get flung around. It looked like someone sprayed the side of the car with grease. Not good. So let's have a look. Get the boot to slide back on itself. There you go. So that's what you should see. That is a car that's done 100,000 miles. So as you guys can see, that is, it's black like I mentioned, but it's not this horrible kind of peace pudding, like kind of toffee chocolate looking stuff. This is what you should get to see, and that's why this is lovely and smooth. So I feel better now knowing that this was actually faulty. Don't feel I wasted my money on my time. So yeah, I can call this project done. Didn't show you guys the installation side of it. I probably should have done. In fact, there's a lot of stuff I could have showed you guys on this channel. It's just time. Everything takes, you know, 2 or 3 times longer if you try to record at the same time. So this is a quick video about the whole vibration side, and hopefully it might help you guys out. So I'll end this one here. Like always, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.